Hi, Stitchers. Welcome to Tatreez Talk, where we share conversations about Palestinian embroidery. I'm Amani here with my co-host Nina, chatting with talented embroiderers and artists, sharing their stories, inspirations, and the cultural significance behind their work.
On today's episode, we are chatting with Tatreez artist Dana, also known online as Tatreez with Danduna. Welcome to Tatreez Talk, Dana. We are so excited to have you on here.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the work that you've been doing. And I'm so happy to be here finally.
Yeah, we're excited to finally get you here. It's been a long time coming. And we finally got to meet IRL because for those of you who don't know, I am myself and Dan are both in Northern California. Dan is a little further north in Sacramento, and me, I'm in San Francisco Bay Area. We finally got to meet a few months ago and did a little like impromptu small Tatreez gathering, a little Tatreez circle, which was great. So it was nice to finally meet IRL after all this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Oh, I was excited and I loved seeing the community that you have. It's amazing. The people there were very sweet and just like everybody at a Tiltree circle, everybody's sweet and just welcoming and, passionate about Tiltrees.
Right. I know. I still got to make it up to Sacramento for a circle
Yeah.
soon, inshallah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we'll talk about like the community work that you've been doing soon. But first, we would like to kick off by asking if you could share a little bit about you and your family's connection to Palestine.
Yeah, of course. So I am Palestinian. So my father is from Jerusalem. He's from a village called Shafat, and Shafat is next to famous Beit Hanina. So if you haven't heard of Shafat, we're right next door. And again, it's a village. And so he was born and raised there and has most of his family there. And I have also my mom, who is also Palestinian, but she's from Haifa. And, with many people that came from Haifa and surrounding areas, post, Nakba, they went to Damascus, Syria. So actually, so she was born in Damascus, Syria. So if you speak to her, she has a Syrian accent, but she's Palestinian. And so yeah, I did grow up going to Palestine. I especially during my high school years because we built a house in Shafat, and so literally like the first day of summer till the last day of summer was spent in Palestine. Dad wanted us to just go and learn and just, be one with the people and the culture and the family. And so um, maybe that adds to, I guess I'm very Palestinian. Okay, I'm very Palestinian. And I think maybe that's where it comes from. But also, again, growing up, away from Palestine and, with all the events that happen in Palestine, this alone can make you very passionate for not just your people and culture and heritage, but also to see them freed and, and live normal lives just like other people in the world. So, injustice is wrong, regardless from where people are from or what part of the world it is. It's wrong, period. And so, yeah, maybe that's probably where my activism starts or stems from.
That's so
Um,
beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, considering that you spent so much time in Palestine growing up, like what was Tatreez like around you? Was it something that your family in Palestine was actively practicing? Did it something that you saw around you? How were you engaging in Tatreez growing up, or I guess spending so much time back home?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, Tatreez doesn't come into my life until COVID. You know, t 2021. In that spring and summer, I believe it was. Remember Sheikh Jarrah events and attacks on Al-Aqsa and even Gaza at the time. Um, at that time, I was expressing my activism in different ways. I had, for example, like an Instagram account for little cute charcuterie boards, and I just it was a hobby during we picked up a lot of hobbies during COVID, and that was one. But when those events were happening, I was even trying to express, awareness through food. So anything I can do. And so yeah, at that time I just thought, you know what, maybe it's time. I learned Tatreez. Um, it kind of annoyed me the fact that I didn't know the difference between a machine made and a handmade item. And it's like, no, I should know better and I should do better. And at that time too, even just learning about our our history as in, 1948 and post 1948, being more familiar with our history and what happened in our in history. um, all of that just I kind of grew into, an interest for Tatreez and learning what Tatreez is and how to practice. But no, growing up, not really interested in Tatreez. I adored it. It's around our house. My mom is obsessed with Tatreez, so we have like even a whole room in our house just for, Tatreez. It's like a Tatreez Ade, like we have. Tatreez has always been there. It's just no, going to Palestine, I didn't see relatives embroider or anything. But when I did express interest to my mom turns out she did know Tatreez, but she learned it so long ago that it wasn't enough for her to teach me. And so at the time I saw Wafat Ngham, she was offering classes online, and I was like, "Khalas, that's the calling. I'm just gonna learn online." And yeah, I learned through her and kept up with it. And one project leads to another project. And just like with anything in life, the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get at it. And so, or the more comfortable at least you get with it. So, um, yeah, that's how it started. But I run, yeah, not in full scene.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot of people's experiences, right? It's like it's been in front of you the whole time and you just never thought what went into making this or how would I approach making it. And there's like a moment where it's like, wait, why don't I know how to do this? And then you go down the rabbit hole, right? It's
Right. I mean, here behind me, I love showing it off because it's like it's better than in my closet. This is my thobe that was made for me for when I got married for my Keffiyeh tab. And it was a lady in Ramallah that did it. And she's passed, Allah yarhamha now. But um, she took like less than a year. I think took her about 8 months to get it done. But also that's another thing. When I reflect on my thobe, it's like, well, why don't I know how to do something like this? Or why don't I not know more about the motifs or this design? So sometimes it's maybe thoughts can come to you without you really knowing. You just pondering about yourself and identity and stuff, and you stumble on it somehow.
yeah. Yeah, that's so beautiful. So have you looked back at that thobe now and kind of figured out where all the motifs originate from and what kind of
Sure,
stitches are in
girl.
it?
Yeah, so I wore it. The last class I taught was at UC Davis, and I wouldn't wear it normally to a class because I'm limited in how far I can walk. It's very narrow, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling the sleeves. The sleeves are long, so I'll wear it. So I wore it and actually got so many questions on this thobe than other thobes that I've worn. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, like thobes when they make them these days, it's whatever's popular. It's not regional or anything. And I didn't have any, I just told her the color scheme. I love if you want, like, I feel like it's very classic and it's very like a beautiful combination when we have the reds and the orange and you see green and beige. So that was my only say in the thobe. But yeah, there's a lot of motifs. If I take a picture, you guys will definitely recognize.
And so now that you have been on your own personal Tatreez journey and deepened your practice, have you thought about a thobe? Is that in your cards to stitch your own
Yeah, of
thobe?
course. Yes. So I have so Samia, okay, so after I learned Tatreez and got familiar with Tatreez, I did a couple projects on Ida cloth and I was like, okay, I'm good. Then I braved the denim jacket, and the jacket that I'm wearing now is the jacket that I learned so much about. Actually, a good half of one part of it, I had to one winter take out all the stitching because it was so off. It was off. It was off by a couple stitches. And so luckily I had my cousin from Palestine. She was here to visit, and I was like, you know what? Kato, here you go. So she undid it for me because she's a crocheter and she was like, she's fine, like she was okay with doing that. And I learned a lot with the jacket. And so after I finished the jacket, on Instagram, I saw Samia. So Samia leads, a thobe making class. I think like twice a year she'll have a class, and I signed up for it, and I am up to my knee in little trees. Everybody in my cohort is like done their chest panel, probably their back panel. They're all ahead, way ahead of me, but it's nice to have like some people like to have like one project and finish. I can have a couple, maybe max three. More than that is too much of ongoing projects that, some can take a little longer. Some of them, I need to do them now. So definitely th a thobe is in the works, but mashallah not. So Lena, actually, you're somebody that I followed early on when I was first on Instagram, and I do have to say, I seeing your process and seeing what you went through with your thobe and creating your thobe, Anjad, such a beautiful thing. And I really enjoyed seeing you put that together, and very proud of you to now do that for others.
Thank you, thank you. But wait, tell us more about your thobe. So what are you doing with it? What are the colors? What kind of designs are you thinking?
So, okay, so Samia will say that, you can make a Ramallah thobe, and this is the colors and this is the pattern. If you want to make anything else, she can help you design it and guide you through that. So for me, the garden thobe was like calling me. I love color. Don't get me wrong, I love reds. Reds are beautiful. Um, but I think as I do more tutorials and do more projects, I think I'm a colorful person, even though I like to think I'm like, no, more muted and neutrals.
I
Uh,
totally see you as a colorful
Yeah,
person
that's
based
so
on your work.
interesting.
No, girl,
Yeah,
you're
same.
very vibrant and bright, which I am very drawn to, obviously, like 100%. Sorry, go on.
you too. I mean, you too, Amani, you too. I love the pinks and the purples and the reds. I think it's nice to be everything. I don't think we have to classify ourselves as this or that, but
Real.
we definitely tend to, lean a certain way though, for sure. So yeah, garden was calling me. I love the flower. I love the ideas of having flowers and then using the variegated thread too. I used it in a different project, so that's why I was like, okay, I think I can handle a whole thobe with it, I think. And so yeah, that's so inshallah it'll be a garden thobe at some point, not anytime soon, but getting there.
That's exciting though. I feel like the more and more I think about like for myself, I am very drawn to like garden thobes more and more as well. So I can totally see that. I'm excited to see it come to life because you're really good at documenting your process, which I think is great and gets people excited and gets people wanting to try things. And like one of the things that you have been documenting is your Tatreez, is it Tatreez my Keffiyeh? Is that what the hashtag is? Um,
Please, your Keffiyeh.
Tatreez
I'm
your
not phrasing it for you.
Keffiyeh. Tatreez your Keffiyeh is a little hashtag you started in a little movement, if you will. Because I've definitely seen people in my community, my local community, who are doing it. But you have been taking a keffiyeh and stitching little motifs and I guess patches, if you will, throughout. Can you tell us a little bit about like what is this project? What started the project? What has it become? What do you hope for the project? Tell us everything.
Yeah, yeah. So, I, if you followed me long enough, you'll see that I kind of create a project as I go. And I take you with me because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just creating. So, with this project, I thought, okay, this is going to be cool if we put some tatris on it because I don't know, I love the idea of tatris being on a kufiya. But as I started, I was like, you know what? Let's take motifs from different areas and just have it represent different parts of Palestine, even though, of course, we know not every place in Palestine has a motif or, um, you know, uh, could be represented like others. But we're gonna try our best because we need to not only like when Palestine is free, we need to be very familiar with Palestine, right? So we need to know the places, we need to just be more familiar with even the names and what these names have become, for example, now. So like for example, Yafa, I don't know if everybody knows, but right now it's being called Tel Aviv, but we know it as Yafa. So um, yeah, so that's how it started. So I started to do motif by motif. I picked different motifs from different places, and then so that was one side. And so then I knew like when we wear the kufiyeh, we wear it in a like folded into a triangle at least, right? And around us. And so I knew if I did one side, I have to do the other side, going the other way. So that is what I'm currently working on. I have not finished. And I thought the theme going that way, why not have it document what's been going on for the last year? So it is maybe more some parts of it is like a modern Tatreez. There are motifs that I've created, but created again to represent and not forget different aspects of this genocide. And so, but there is some traditional parts to it. So some motifs will have motifs that already exist, in our practice. And so, um, that's really that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And then I know. I haven't shared that there's going to be a third part, but there should
Oh,
be a third part because in the bottom we need something, right? When on the bottom of where they meet the motifs. So we'll see. I'll have to think of that part as I go, but currently I'm almost done with the second side, and yeah, just a way to just, I feel people are enjoying it because it's another way of showing or being active, showing your activism or solidarity or whatnot. And so um, Tatreez can do that.
yeah.
Sometimes people just looking at it will invoke so many questions and so much interest. And so it's a different way of having a conversation
Mhm.
um, and just showing people, our beautiful heritage and our more about our people.
Yeah. And I definitely think that there's like, especially with what you're doing as far as like documenting, sharing out these different motifs that you're doing along the way, there is like this sense of like community building amongst the people who are stitching it as well, which I think
Definitely.
also probably adds like a special layer again for anyone who's actually actively stitching along in the process. Because again, like I know people in my own local community who are stitching along. And they talk about it at our circles. And I know when you came out, like there were some of them who were there at our circle, like were able to chat with you about it and demand
Yeah,
more motifs.
yeah,
um
yeah, 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 of
do
course.
you
And
have a favorite motif, by the way?
that's tricky. Part one or part two? Um,
Either or.
no, a favorite. To be honest, I chose what I chose or created what I created because I love the story or different parts of it for different reasons.
Mhm.
And I do encourage people if they don't want to take this route, like the motifs that I do, go. There's so many resources we have. Go and pick the motifs you like and تطريز your own kufiyeh. The
Mhm.
hashtag was created just so people can get inspired and see even the motifs in different colors and تطريز in different ways. And for some reason, my kufiyeh is a little smaller than everybody else's. So, or not everybody's, but like a lot of people. And so people have more space. To keep going on their line. And so to see what they put or what other motifs that they choose, it was really cool. So it's I really encourage people to have Tatriz accounts. Whether you don't have to and maybe this is kind of a little off topic, but um I love seeing pages and the rise in pages of Tatriz within the last year because you guys are doing more than you think. You guys, again, are spreading. beauty, and you are spreading a message of Palestinian people. Again, not having to, you don't even have to be Palestinian, but when you share and it's on social media, people you are inspiring others. You are again showcasing Palestinians in a different way, in a different light. And so, and I think also, that is also important in your guys' effort. You guys have the effort of speaking to, having conversations like with DMC and having them, be more aware of us and our heritage and stuff. And it's one thing to show them our history and how we've used, their threads and stuff, but how about we show them now of what we do now and how it's still relevant and it's still very close to Palestinians and non-Palestinians too. And yeah, just show this beautiful craft. Like it's amazing. I love seeing and that's anyways, that's how traditionally when we would make thwab, we would be inspired by others around us. And so it's absolutely beautiful thing to share and be creative in that way.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. I think it's not even just that you're sharing Tatreez, but you're showcasing that there's a lot of people who care about Tatreez and by extension Palestine. And that really does show power in numbers. I mean, on the DMC front, I don't have opinions. We'll talk about that after the recording.
We could definitely.
But the thing is, what you're saying is 100% true because like, imagine there were all of these Tatreez accounts and they were all calling DMC out at the same time. Like that was part of why DMC even responded is because there wasn't just one person. It was like a lot of people saying something. So imagine they go on to Instagram and they see all these Tatreez accounts and they're all using their products. Like that matters. Like those are their customers. And I think there's a lot more power in that than people know or people believe because you can feel very small as one individual. But you are part of a collective. I think that's also what's really powerful about Tatreez is that we're a collective. It's not based on one person. It's not like you don't have like an inventor of Tatreez. It's something that's, been passed around to all of the women and it's being held up and pushed further by all the women who are practicing it. And non-women, of course, who practice it as well. Um, I just wanted to say before we like change topics is just on the Keffiyeh front, I love that you made these unique motifs that represent what we're experiencing today because it's so easy to forget when every day there's something new that happens. And I think it's so powerful to have a motif representing press, a motif that's representing a kite. And those are really important. So like shout out to you and beautiful work. And I also echo what Amani says. I know so many people who are working on their kufiyas. So it has taken off, and I hope to see more of that as well.
I will say, I'll add, so doing this part of the Kufia project, I am adding every time you see the motif and so if I picked a motif from a region, it's because it doesn't probably exist anymore at the moment, right? And so I will give that background in the PDF that they get. Um, but if it's a motif I've made, I explain to them, well, why did I make it and where is this coming from? And so that serves as like a starting point. Let's say if they don't know, they will know, they'll get to know and they'll start looking. But most people will know. And I think again, it's just being able to just express yourself through the stitches. Like it's hard. Are we even coping? I don't even know if are we coping or what through, this past year. I don't know what to call it, but whatever it is, definitely as you stitch, you can get a lot of stress out and just feel like you're doing something. And I know it's, we're just making X's, but these X's are more powerful than you think. Every single stitch is more powerful than we think.
100%. Where can people find all that information about the kufiyas? We'll make sure to link it in the show notes.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just go through my profile and just go see videos because there's videos about the process and different motifs and different parts of it. So they can get a feel for it. And then if they feel that they're ready, My DMs are always open. I respond to everybody. I see everything, or I try my best to respond to everybody because I don't know why my Instagram sometimes will hide my messages. So sometimes I see it much later, but whenever I see it, I definitely respond. And this project is kind of like I don't know how to call it, like maybe like an achievement project. Like so people they first send me a message that they're interested. Then I give them an information about how to start. So they have to look up a YouTube video or just know how to baste waist canvas. Once they get that done, they send me a picture showing me that they have done it. Then I give them the first motif. And then when they finish the first motif, then I give them so it's a lot of back and forth. I think, and so a lot of there is some conversations made, and there is a connection with people. And to be honest, this is what I love from it. I love having the connection with people. So, or feeling that they can reach me or they can ask me what they like. So, um, yeah, that's from my end. This is what I enjoy, and then I hope they're enjoying, تطريزing it or again, asking anything that they need. And yeah, so like you finish one, then you get the next one. And so it's like kind of a game, achievement game. I don't know what you call it, but
I like looking at it as like an achievement game because it's like a little motivator.
yeah. So no, I don't. So just heads up, like no, because I do get this question. Hey, where are all the PDFs? Well, here's the instructions on how to start. So, maybe in the future I might have them on Zain's website. Maybe they can all be together there. We've spoken about having it be like that. But I need to get to that point. I'm not done with it. So yeah.
That's
I
fair.
love
That's
that though.
fair.
I love that. That's a great idea, I think.
There is another pattern that you designed, a Palestinian flag pattern, that also kind of took off online. And it was something that you created, to raise funds for Gaza relief.
Yeah.
You were working specifically with pious projects, correct?
Yeah.
Um, and can you tell us a little bit more about that project, like how that came to be, and maybe even tell us a little bit about the work that Pious Projects has been doing?
Yeah. So, well, I'll start with Price Project. Price Project is an organization that is a well-known one in our community. And in case if you don't know their work, they just bring relief to Gaza, and they also document the relief efforts that they do. And so it's an organization that I'm very familiar with. And so, when you have people donating, you want to go through places that are, that they recognize or they've known and stuff. And so that's why I chose Pious Projects. But the again, this project, like all my other projects, just organically just happens as I do it and I just share online. So with this, I wanted to create a flag pattern and خلاص, this is my take on the flag. And it gets, oh, for a while, I think it was on Jerusalem Day. It got so much hate from the other side. And,
Wait,
my,
really? How did they find,
yeah,
like, wait, tell us more.
man, there's some posts that I have and it will attract for some reason the other side. And this is why I have this policy on my page where I block and delete. Like, there's no room for this. I go through and I'm very
Yes,
I don't care for this stuff to be on my page and
I support that.
say
Yes.
what you want. I don't, this is our, our space. It's a safe space for anybody to be pro-Palestinian on. So I don't care for this other side. And rarely do you see me respond unless there's a benefit to that respond. I'll just block and delete.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I think it was their Jerusalem Day, and I just spend it on, yeah, like it's Jerusalem Day for us because Jerusalem is Palestinian. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I got a lot of comments on that.
Fun.
Um, Actually, there was one post, or like I think it was, yeah, early on, with October, after October 7th, where I had followers and there was a bunch of different types of followers, but um there was a lot that just like admired Tatreez but didn't know what it was or didn't maybe
Hmm.
even care what it was. And so I had a post, and then again I get this like, the negative comments and stuff, and I'm like, hold on, like, no, this page is not for for these kind of people. Actually, I'd rather them not be here. So I made another
Mhm.
post about like making fun of them, and then that's the one that, I think got the page popular, where it's like, guys, like, it's, yes, it's pretty, but like, learn, well, about
Yeah.
the people and the people who make this embroidery. So yeah, it's social media is pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting place. But I think at least it seems like for the m most part, you have found like a really great and supportive community. I am on the same page as you where I'm like, no, 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 I don't engage with that nonsense and I don't leave it up. Like, us delete and block, like
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
away. So I really love the community that you've built like online. I think that says a lot about you and what you kind of bring to the Tatreez community as well. I'm curious because just because you mentioned, how I guess your audience evolved since October 7th. How has your relationship to Tatreez evolved since the start of the genocide?
I think I create. I think post October 7th is when I really started to
Mm,
create on my own and be
mm,
and express, my feelings with that creativity. I think before I was, but probably that was, maybe my skill level at the time too. So, before October 7th, I think that that's just when I just finished this jacket and was, getting started on my thobe, for example, getting ready with Samia. And so, yeah, I think it's just being creative. I think that's what happened. And so being creative and just showing, bringing awareness. And so every time I would stitch, there would a lot of my videos with the pattern that I have for Al-Aqsa, a lot of those videos are, yes, you're seeing me stitch, but I'm conveying a message to you in some way, whether it's under in the post or in the video itself, or just even the song choice. Like, I'm very mindful even of the song choices, because I love to listen to audio, and especially on posts and stuff, and so it should relate. I feel like it should relate, or be relevant. It helps the post for sure. And so, yeah, definitely, I think my creativity started to come out.
So since you've also kind of grown very quickly, and your content is so interesting to like watch. It's beautiful, it's aesthetically pleasing. And I think that goes back to kind of your how colorful you are and like all the different colors that you showcase in all the content. Let's say someone's listening and they're kind of curious about creating an Instagram account for their tattoos. What would you advise them to post about and share? I know for me, I like to see when people make mistakes and are just kind of in their natural element. But I'm curious, like, what would you advise if someone was like asking you right now, how should they go about it?
I mean, just be you. Just, post what you like, post what interests you, what inspires you, and and slowly you'll build a community, just through that. And again, you don't have to, like, I'm an account that you don't see my face often. I don't mind showing my face, but it's just, my page is more for my work, I think. Um so I don't want people to feel pressure that they have to show themselves, or they have your work speak for itself. And I think the way to resonate with people is when you post, tell us why are you posting this? How, let us know your feelings, let us know your thoughts. Um, and that most of the time will give you more of like a more of a reaction, or people will engage more when you do so. But I'm telling you, there's the other types of embroideries. They're all over, at one point they were all over my feed, and it's beautiful. But we can also have Tatreez be like that too. How amazing would that be?
Yes, I completely agree. And I do love seeing other people's work and other people's creativity. So co-sign all of that.
Yeah.
Before we kind of wrap up, I do want to take a minute to talk about the local community that you have in Sacramento. You guys are doing pretty regular Tatreez circles there. And it seems like really building some meaningful friendships through Tatreez. So, can you share a little bit about the community and like what your Tatreez circles look like? And if someone is local to Sacramento and they want to get involved and meet other Tatreezers?
Yeah, well, I say welcome. Please come because, so the community, every time we have a circle, the circle looks a little different, but it's always been an inviting place, a welcoming place for anybody who is pro-Palestine, Palestinian, and they can come. They don't have to know even how to tatriz. You can just come and if you're craving that space or craving, that kind of gathering, you're always welcome. Even, bring your own craft. I don't care if you crochet. You want to crochet, you can bring that too. Why not? So you can bring your own craft, do what you like. But yes, so it's mostly people that come, they do tatriz. And it's a way for you. So we all, we have our friends and our relationships and our family and our lives and stuff. But it's really nice to have like the three friends where, we can do so much on social media, but we are also humans. We also need human interaction. And so when we get together, having Tatri's friends, I think is amazing. So for example, Paige has been a blessing in my life. I love Paige. She's the one who motivated me to start the circles because I wasn't very confident at that time to put myself out there in my community and, just to start organizing events like this. But she wanted it, and so we got it done. And so, it's been a blessing, and I really encourage people to have them. You can, and you don't, I mean, you don't need one in every city. You can have so many. A circle is just a gathering of friends. And so the way we have it is anybody, it could be anybody. So we have some people that come sometimes. There's some usuals, some people are usuals. But yeah, it's again just for you to have community and for you to talk about your Tatreez show because we're gonna ask you what are you working on, um what inspired you to do this. I love these conversations. So actually at the circle, you can ask Paige. I barely Tatreez. I maybe get one or two stitches in. Like sometimes it's like that. I love talking. We all love talking together about our projects and just everything Tatreez related. So I think it's amazing. I highly support and encourage, just like you guys supported and encouraged me too. It wasn't just Paige. So to have these circles and have these, gatherings, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Um, it was really nice to do it in Dubai too. When I went to Dubai, we just did that organically because I planned that trip really last minute. And so I was like, you know what? I want a sense of Palestine when I'm on this trip. So I was like, okay, let me look up on Instagram who teaches Tatreez, who is active in Tatreez. And so it was a really beautiful event because of the people that were there and seeing them also see their community. I mean, it's so three circles are my favorite.
I love that. That's so true. Yeah, I noticed that you were in Dubai. You were seeing also a lot of people that Amani and I got to meet as well, which was so much fun. The three
Yeah.
friends are really the best.
Yeah.
They're so special. They're so special. And I liked some of the locations in Dubai too. They have some nice, like very Palestinian owned, beautiful spaces.
Hmm.
But I love that. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I wish we had more of that here.
I know.
So
Yeah.
Same.
we need more of that. But um yeah, the three circle says hi to you guys, by the way, you ladies.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love.
Inshallah, maybe one day we can do something together. But it's again, community's so amazing. It's really nice to have them. They're blessings.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, okay. We have to ask, of course, as always, what are any major life lessons that you have taken from Tatreez?
I mean, I was a pretty patient person before Tatreez, but it's definitely taught me patience. I'm sure this is the common answer. I don't know if I have something super crazy, but yeah, I mean, patience. You have to be patient. Beautiful things take time sometimes, and Tatreez is one of them. And so you're gonna learn to be patient with finishing a project. You're gonna learn how to be patient with mistakes. Even if you're creative, it teaches you patience because, like, okay, so when we make a pattern, it's got to be symmetrical. Learning just how to make symmetrical patterns and making colors flow, that needs a patience. And so you learn patience in different various forms with Tatreez, and um, it is a beautiful thing. And so if you just give yourself, this is when I teach, some people take it and they continue with it, and some people, of course, are like, this is too much. And so I tell them, if you just give yourself a little bit of time, doesn't have to be every day, but like, give some time to this craft. This craft will give back. You will get better, and you will make something beautiful, and and you will definitely be proud of the piece that you make, and regardless of what your back looks like you will still be very proud, and because you've achieved something that's, cross stitch, it looks simple, but it could be difficult, and it could be simple. You want to have strategy and spice it up. It kind of will make it a little more difficult in the beginning, but again, everything with practice gets easier and
Mhm.
will flow. So, um, patience, going back to patience.
Always an important lesson because, yeah, we could all use more of that. Um,
For sure.
Dana, thank you so much for joining us, for talking to us about your Tatreez journey and your work within the Tatreez community. It was a pleasure chatting with you. As always, it's just always great to have these conversations. So thank you for joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we finally got Dana on. It was great to chat with her and just like, everyone always, before they jump on the show, they're always like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to share. I don't know what to talk about. And we always tell people, like, trust us, your story is going to be interesting enough and like it'll just flow. And it always is. And I love hearing about her journey and like how it's accelerated and the community that she has been growing and contributing to both online and like locally in the Sacramento area, which I definitely need to go visit. I promise I will.
No, I 100% agree. And she's as nice as she seems online. And I love hearing people after seeing their work. It's so interesting to kind of put the face and the voice to what they create and put out in the world. And it 100% matches. And I just loved what she shared about, like everyone says that one of the things that they learn most from Tatreez is patience, but it's what she says is true. Beautiful things take time, and I think that's just such a beautiful reminder. And I don't know. I loved everything that she shared ultimately. And I think there's so much power again in numbers, so much power in raising each other up and supporting each other. And she 100% emulates that, I guess, through the work that she's doing online and locally. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if you are in the Sacramento area, you should definitely go to one of her Tatreez circles, hang out with her, hang out with Paige, who we've had on the podcast as well, in the past. But they're definitely building a really beautiful community up there. So I say up there because for me it's north, but whatever.
How far is it, by the way, from San Francisco? Like an hour?
No, it's like 2 hours, 2.5
Okay.
hours. I don't know. It's far, bro. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. But
Let me
we'll
not
see.
get
We'll see
canceled by
you.
Sacramento.
We'll see you. They'll see you there hopefully one day. Next time I
Inshallah.
come your way, we can go up together. I'll drive.
Inshallah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you guys again so much for listening to another episode of Tatreez Talk. We want to hear your Tatreez journeys. So please, please, please share your stories with us at tatreeztalk@gmail.com, and we might just have you up on an upcoming episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite listening platform and be sure to leave a 5-star review. You can follow me at Lina's Thobe, Amani at Minamani, and of course, make sure you follow the podcast at Tatreez Talk. We will talk to you guys soon.